Now at 5, skeletal remains found in a wooded area near Columbus. What authorities are saying about the discovery and the next steps in the investigation. Plus, a family displaced from a fire in Carl Junction makes a heartwarming discovery in the ashes. And
President Trump pushes ahead with his immigration agenda as the legal battle over his use of a sweeping wartime law continues. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with more on that and the latest in the Trump administration's efforts to slash the size of government.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas recover remains suspected to be those of a teenager who have been missing for more than 15 months. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Missing person posters have been displayed on some area businesses since 19-year-old Jaden Santini was reported missing in December of 2023. The family said he could be in the Miami, Oklahoma or Joplin area. Well, now the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office says they've received a call reporting the discovery of skeletal remains in a wooded area just west of Columbus. There were personal items in the area which point to the identity of the person as Santini. They say there is no evidence of foul play and no one else is being sought in connection with this incident. The remains have been turned over to the coroner's office for official identification. Drivers on Kansas highways will be required to move over when passing stationary vehicles displaying hazard warning lights. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today signed that bill into law. Historically, move-over protections have been limited to emergency personnel. Over time, those protections included road service vehicles, utility, and tow trucks. Under this new law, move-over protections will apply to all highway vehicles displaying hazard lights. A supporter says 82 crashes occurred in Kansas from 2018 to 2023 with someone in a vehicle while on the side of the road. Investigators confirm an unintentional electrical fire caused the blaze that damaged a home in Carl Junction and displaced a family over the weekend. Firefighters also now say they've rescued 2 cats that had hidden in a bedroom and were missing. No injuries were reported in the fire. Community members can find ways to help the family through Bulldog Drive-In, which is sharing assistance information. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good across the region. A little bit warmer out there, and we're going to be mainly into the 70s as we go through this week. We are going to get some rain chances, at least showers in here Wednesday, late Wednesday into Thursday, but chances for thunderstorms moving in Saturday into Sunday morning. Some of those could be strong to severe, which we'll keep our eyes on over the next few days. 71 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh. Most of us near 70 to about 75. Once you get into our western counties, we'll slide back through the 60s, 50s. So a pretty good evening. We do have some clouds out there. A couple little showers are kind of skirting to our north and to our east. But again, as we go into Tuesday, we have pretty good weather conditions. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
Catching a few spring weather can bring allergies, and with it lots of runny noses, itchy throats, and watery eyes. We spoke to Osborne Drugs in Miami to see what you can do to relieve the pain of allergies.
I take Allegra, which is a generic fexofenadine, but the first line treatment, they're called intranasal corticosteroids. They're called Flonase or fluticasone. This is the first line therapy for really any type of allergy. It's a simple spray in each nostril once to twice a day.
Osborne says getting good quality sleep should also help relieve allergy symptoms. The arrival of spring means plenty of fun events are on the horizon at Wildcat Glades Nature Group. The group has only a few staff members, which means many of their events are run by volunteers, and they need more. The executive director of Wildcat Glades says volunteers help make events possible, and without them, events don't run as smoothly.
If we don't have enough volunteers, our programs get smaller. We have to leave different parts out. Maybe it's a portion of May the Force be with you that we can't pull off because we don't have enough people to do that.
The process to become a volunteer with the group includes an application and an interview. President Trump announced today the U.S. will impose a 25% tariff on any country that buys oil and gas from Venezuela. The administration says the Venezuelan government is sending gang members into the U.S. It's the basis for President Trump's decision to declare some Venezuelan migrants enemy combatants and deporting them without due process. Erica Brown is at the White House with more on the administration's efforts to carry out its mass deportation plan.
The Trump administration says it's extraditing 3 Venezuelan migrants with alleged ties to the Tren de Aragua gang who were detained as part of the Alien Enemies Act.
We're getting the bad ones out first, and we're taking them out. And there's some really bad ones, murderers.
The administration is appealing a judge's temporary block of the president's use of the Alien Enemies Act, which allows for quick deportations without due process.
We're now not even just getting the worst of the worst out. We're making sure that there's consequences for being here and committing crimes in our communities.
Sunday night, the administration carried out more deportations directly to Venezuela without invoking the Wartime Act after reaching a deal with that country. During a cabinet meeting Monday, President Trump praised efforts to secure the southern border and to slash the size of the government.
Our country was riddled with fat, like no country probably anywhere in the world, and we're getting rid of the fat.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced plans to do away with the agency tasked with helping people after a natural disaster strikes.
We're going to eliminate FEMA, so we've got a lot to do.
The Trump administration is also appealing a court order to rehire more than 16,000 federal workers laid off during their probationary period, asking the Supreme Court to step in. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
U.S. District Judge William Alsup ordered the terminations at the Departments of Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Defense, Energy, the Interior, and the Treasury were all improperly laid off and ordered the probationary employees to be rehired. The government argues the plaintiffs don't have legal standing and the judge does not have the authority to order the rehiring. Still ahead, a Navy veteran overcomes incredible odds. How 3D printing helped rebuild his skull and gave him a second chance at life. And later, DoorDash customers now have a new way to pay. But what does this shift say about our spending habits? Topping today's Health Watch, a new treatment is showing promise at slowing the onset of Alzheimer's symptoms, effectively postponing the disease. Researchers at Washington University in St. Louis found the experimental drug is effective for people in their 40s and 50s who are genetically prone to Alzheimer's. But the funding of the study is being threatened by government cutbacks. Being overweight during childhood could have a lifelong impact on your lungs. A study by the European Congress on Obesity found kids who are overweight or obese had an increased risk as an adult of getting chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. The risk was 65% higher for women with obesity and 40% higher for men with obesity. A 3D printer helped save the life of a New Jersey man whose skull was crumbling. As Zinnia Maldonado reports, the Navy veteran hopes others can benefit from his battle.
After 3 brain surgeries, 63-year-old Greg Morrison received not so great news.
My skull that they had put back was starting to deteriorate.
As part of his skull was caving in, his neurosurgeon, Dr. Nitish Patel of Jersey Shore University Medical Center, got to work. His team was able to construct a 3D model of Morrison's skull and then a replacement piece for the decaying fragment thanks to a 3D printer.
We can take a CAT scan, replicates Greg's anatomy in 3D, take that, identify the defect of what's missing, print out a perfect puzzle piece.
Morrison, an engineer and Navy vet, first suffered a brain bleed 2 years ago, which required 2 surgeries and then a third when a brain tumor was discovered.
Very few patients can go through what he went through and come out looking this good.
What was the biggest challenge you faced when performing this type of surgery?
The challenge, of course, is timing. In Greg's case, not only were we able to beat the time factor, but we were also able to modify the anatomy.
After his final surgery in November, the Jersey Shore native has since fully recovered and is back at work. By his side, George, the original replica of his skull.
I truly want people, no matter how challenging the obstacle is, to know there's hope.
Morrison hopes his story serves as inspiration for those battling a fight that seems impossible to win. Zinnia Maldonado, CBS News.
And how much sleep do we really need? Well, sleep scientists say it depends. The Associated Press reports doctors generally believe 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night is best for your health, and getting less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours on average is bad for you. But experts add that everyone is different and sleep quality might be more important than sleep quantity. And that is a look at today's health news. A little later, struggling with tax filing, the Parsons Public Library is offering free help. Who qualifies and how to get assistance.
Plus the nice temperature sticking around for the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a beautiful Monday for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine outside, and our temperature is pretty good. Most of us in that 70 to 75 degree range. Looks good out there right now. Great shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's look at the temps. A little bit cooler once you get out across central Missouri, but most of us pretty good. Really a spread from mid 70s to near 70 once you get into our eastern counties. Through the evening, slide back 70s, 60s into the 50s, but overall, it's going to be a pretty good evening on tap for us. The wind's not very strong. They will pick up a little bit over the next few days. Still tomorrow afternoon, kind of, we're going to have variable winds, but we could see gusts anywhere from 10 upwards to 15 miles per hour. Thankfully, nothing like what we had over the weekend and last week, and then picking up out of the east a little bit more once we get into Wednesday. So we'll call it breezy as we go through the next few days. Warm front kind of draped out across central Missouri. There's been some clouds, a couple little sprinkles. A lot of that is not even reaching the ground. Big ridge of high pressure out to the west, but eventually we're going to get a couple storms systems in here that kind of undercut that ridge a little bit later on this week. Let's go hour by hour. Tonight, southwesterly wind. We'll start switch to the northwest by tomorrow morning. We are going to get some clouds in here, so let's at least call it partly cloudy. Overnight lows like 48 to about 50 if you're getting up in the morning. A lot of clouds kind of working through in the morning, but again, just partly sunny skies, we'll call it that. We should be mid to upper 60s to near 70 once we get to the noon hour. Let's go to the afternoon. Here's 4:30 p.m. 71 Nevada, 74 Anderson, 75 in Miami, 76 in Fredonia. So maybe just a notch or two warmer than what we saw today. Still have some clouds kind of working through tomorrow night. We'll stop Wednesday morning. Temperatures very similar to what we're going to see tonight. Most of us will dip down right around 46, 47, 48 degrees. We'll get a few more clouds in here on Wednesday. I don't think a lot of this will reach the ground, but we can't rule out a random sprinkle once we get into Wednesday afternoon. But again, temperatures right around 70 degrees. Clouds thicken again Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and that's when we could get a few scattered showers, maybe a couple random thunderstorms as we go into Thursday morning. All right, first off, day planner on Tuesday, 50 in the morning, 68 by noon. Great high, 74 degrees. We'll look at those scattered thunderstorms trying to work in Thursday morning and pushing off toward the east. Even on Friday, we're going to see a few thunderstorms mainly to our south. A couple of these guys could sneak in late Friday. I think our better chances will actually be Saturday evening for some showers and thunderstorms. And we're going to put that in a hot spot because if anything can get going, they could be strong to severe. But again, this is Saturday, so this is several days away, so plenty of time to watch it and kind of fine tune it as we go through this week. 74 tomorrow, 72 Wednesday, 77 on Thursday, 73 Friday, near 80 Saturday. A little bit cooler Sunday and Monday, but all week long this week, we have fantastic spring-like temperatures.
Yeah, loving those temps for sure.
Looks pretty good.
Thanks, Ed. Coming up, could tariffs shake up the price of your favorite margarita? Topping today's Consumer Watch, tax season is in full swing, and the Parsons Public Library has a program that might interest people struggling with the filing process. The library is hosting a series of free in-person tax assistance events with the help of AARP. The event is open to anyone, any age, but especially people over the age of 50 or who can't afford tax preparation.
We've seen a need for tax services. We've lost some of our local preparers. And then through my work with Medicare and counseling, I've seen a lot of seniors that are really trying to keep as much money in their pockets every month. And being able to offer free tax services does that, especially during tax season, because they don't have to pay a preparer to get their taxes done.
While the event is free and open to the public, participants should call the library to reserve an appointment. The tax assistance program will run every Monday until April 14th. A new partnership between DoorDash and Klarna lets customers eat now and pay later. Customers who use the DoorDash app will see an option to pay with Klarna. They can select pay in full, pay in 4 equal interest-free payments on a bill of $35 or more, or defer payment to a time that aligns with the paycheck, for example. But what does the price of convenience say about our consumer culture?
You used to see buy now, pay later used for these bigger ticket items, high-end things like furniture and electronics. The fact that people are using this now for groceries, for gas, for everyday items. I think where it gets tough, though, is you get into this mindset of, oh, I have more room in my budget.
Right, when you really don't.
Exactly.
In the last quarter of 2024, Americans carried $18 trillion in household debt. Klarna says when someone misses a payment, they won't let them continue to defer. The on-again, off-again 25% tariff on Mexican products already has one industry paying the price. Businesses and consumers are stockpiling tequila amid the tariff uncertainty. Tanya Bach shows us how it affects businesses and your wallet.
If a margarita is your drink of choice, the possibility of tariffs could be shaking up the price.
As a Mexican restaurant, margaritas is very important.
At La Contenta Oeste in New York, they're already preparing for the impact of a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico.
I have around 90 cases of tequila.
Owner and chef Luis Mora says he usually buys about 20 cases of tequila and mezcal at a time. But since January, he's ordered about a 6-month supply, and he's not alone. Exports of tequila from Mexico to the U.S. jumped 35% in January and 25% in February compared to last year.
We have Mexican products here. We sell nothing but Mexican products.
In Los Angeles, management at Las Perlas Bar is waiting to see if the tariff, which has been paused until April while President Trump is in talks with Mexico's president, will be implemented. If so,
I mean, for us, it's going to be a straightforward thing. We either raise the prices, or we take the hit.
Analysts say even if the tariffs are not imposed, the uncertainty has already cost the tequila sector money and could cause a temporary slowdown in sales of the billion-dollar industry. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
President Trump is expected to make a final decision on tariffs by April 2nd. Nearly 30,000 pounds of Chomp's brand ready-to-eat original beef and turkey sticks have been recalled after 2 people reported finding metal fragments in the product. According to a post from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the meat sticks were shipped to stores in California and Illinois. So far, no injuries have been reported. Final check of the forecast is still ahead, but first, stocks rebound some on news the president might soften his stance on tariffs. Brad has put the squeeze on orange juice. Then on KOAM News at 6, the story of an Oklahoma community coming to the support of a firefighter who lost his home in a fire. Come on in here, Douglas. Plus, more tips from a local expert on how you can protect yourself from allergies. And the Pitt State women play in the Elite 8 tonight. John Dales is going to have a preview for us. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Now it's your turn, Doug.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good if you're going to be out this evening. Temperatures dropping back through the 60s, eventually into the 50s. 74 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday. Temperatures really staying nice over the next few days. Some rain chances increasing, especially late this week.
Love the temps, and rain in the spring is generally a good thing, you bet. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.